So I'm going to start off today with why is it so hard for the unfaithful partners to change? Okay. Remember, last time we did that for the betrayed partners for you, but I want you to, and I don't want to do this because I want you to have any empathy or garnish any pity for the unfaithful partners. But again, this is tough stuff. And most of you know that when I'm teaching any aspect of betrayal recovery, I teach it from that perspective of needing to learn, right? Like we can learn something. Why do we behave in certain ways? Why do betrayed partners get stuck in certain stages? Why do unfaithful partners get stuck in certain stages? So that's what I want to do today. Why is it so hard for the unfaithful partners to change? Not because I want you to pull back and, it's so hard for them to change. No, but it's nice to get insight into the other perspective so that when I ask you the questions I'm going to ask you to ask yourself about what they're doing, they're going to make sense. Okay. So let's just start. Why is it hard for unfaithful partners to change? What do I have here? I have 10. If you're taking notes, I've got 10 reasons why it's hard for the unfaithful partners to change. Number one, they're addicted to avoidance. Addicted to avoidance. What do I mean? They numb themselves, they're escaping, they don't want to deal with anything. They certainly don't want to deal with the emotional trauma of their spouses. So they avoid. They just avoid at all costs. Now, in most cases, the unfaithful partners, that avoidance is a pattern. It's a pattern that they learned at some point. It became a tool to their brain anytime something was uncomfortable for them. So, an uncomfortable situation, quite obviously, would be a betrayed partner who's upset. So, if their tool is avoidance, then that's going to be really hard to change. And very few will change without professional help because we have to get underneath it. We're always talking about the root cause, right? The core why, the real reason. So that avoidance pattern, we've got to get underneath it. We've got to root that out. Okay. So that's number one, being addicted to avoidance. Number two, shame feels like a death sentence to them. It really does. We as betrayed partners, we thank God, we don't know what it's like to feel that kind of shame. We don't know what it's like because we did not do what they did. But I can tell you, again, after doing this for so many years and talking to so many unfaithful partners, that shame that they feel, it's real and it's a weight and it feels like it's never going to go away. Again, it takes really working with a professional. That's why we do root cause therapy, right? It takes doing a lot of work with a professional to get into that core shame that's inside of them. So it's really hard for them to change because that shame just feels like it's never going to go away. Remember, not all, but a lot of unfaithful partners, they've been living with some sort of shame for their whole lives. Again, not all of them, but if they had rough childhoods, if there was any abuse in their background, if they've been living with an addiction, whether it's alcohol, porn, gambling, whatever it is, all of that fuels that shame inside. So a lot of unfaithful partners, they don't even remember what it feels like to not live with shame. So it can be really hard for them to change because they feel like this shame is just a part of their identity. And it takes somebody from the outside, usually a professional, to help them start seeing the light that no, you don't have to live with shame. Let us help you. Let us help you get rid of that shame. But they don't believe it's possible. So that's kind of the second reason why it's really hard for them to change. Number three, they don't know who they are without the mask. They don't know. Who am I? When I take this mask off, who am I? And they don't have an answer for that because, again, a lot of them have been wearing a mask for years, decades, some of them since they were kids. So taking off this mask requires them to like start going, who am I? Who do I want to be? Now, see, I look at that and I hear that like with excitement almost, because I'm like, yes, the mask is off. Now, guess what? We can create whoever you want to be. Who do you want to be without the mask? You see, that's the journey for them. But until somebody comes along and says, you know what? You don't have to live with shame and you don't have to wear a mask. Until that happens, they feel like they just don't know who they are without it. And having a negative identity is better than having no identity at all. It's kind of like a child would rather have negative attention rather than no attention, right? It's why some children who feel ignored, right? They might purposefully spill their milk because, again, negative attention, even if they're getting yelled at or even if they're getting scolded for spilling their milk, it's better than being ignored. So that's number 3. They don't know who they are without the mask. Makes it really hard to change. Number 4, they lack tools. They lack the tools. Remember, I always talk about change. Every human being needs 3 things in order to change. They need the right information, the right tools, and the right motivation. So tools, they need the tools. Where are they getting their tools from? Too many times, the unfaithful partners, they believe that all they had to do was just stop acting out and everything should just be fine, right? They don't know that they need to learn new things. They need new information and they need new tools. So it's really hard to change if you don't have tools. Okay, so that's number 4. They lack tools. Number 5, they think, and I just kind of talked about this, they think surface changing is enough. This is what normally happens. I just got back from an event yesterday talking a lot about mindset, right? And somebody was kind of giving me their story. Not everybody at these events is dealing with betrayal. So there's lots of different topics, but somebody was talking to me about a previous relationship that he was in, and he was telling me about all the good things that he'd done, and I went, I'll just call him Joe. That's just kind of my name. I'm like, hey, Joe, and I patted him on the back, and I'm like, congratulations. Do you know what you did in that relationship? You finally reached the bare minimum of any healthy relationship. That's all you did. That's all you did. You became a better husband. But you didn't grow, you didn't learn, you didn't become. You went from subpar to bare minimum. And that's why it didn't last. Now we need to help you like, go like this. So many times the unfaithful partners think that surface changes are enough. And then I come along and I'm like, hey, great. Yeah, you're a better husband now, or you're a better wife now. But that's the bare minimum. You need to do more than the bare minimum. So until somebody comes along and tells them that, they'll get stuck. There's an email I just read this morning. I just responded to her, somebody that's going to be coming to the Power Hour next week. And it was interesting because for as long as I've been doing this was the first time somebody worded this question to me exactly the way she did. And it was, I'm afraid I'm going to outgrow my husband. She's the betrayed, he's the unfaithful. And she had this big question, but one of them within it was, I'm afraid I'm going to outgrow him. So when I answered her this morning, I just sent her an email, and I said, you are going to outgrow him. That's not a threat. It's not to scare anybody. But if the unfaithful partners stay stuck in this surface level, I stopped cheating, I stopped objectifying women, I stopped watching porn, whatever it is, and that's all I have to do, that's not enough. It's not enough. The betrayed partner on the journey is going to grow and become, get healthy, and they're going to outgrow the unfaithful partner. Remember, both people have to get to that independently healthy place. Both people. And then you create the new marriage. So if only one person is growing and the other one thinks that just staying with these surface level becoming a better spouse is good enough, then you're going to have an imbalance, and the betrayed partner will outgrow the unfaithful. So that's number 5. They think surface changing is enough.